Season 5. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be working on docking, continuing our docking adventure. Apparently we can't dock without people. I didn't anticipate that was a thing, but apparently you can't go into docking mode if you don't have people, it seems. So let's open up our ship design. Docking Who 3. And this one we had no people, so we're actually going to now change it. How will I do this? I guess if I take this off, throw this away, this thing becomes orphaned. I can't scroll her down, but then we're going to add on this guy. We're going to put that here. I would like to move these batteries. Okay, we do have to re-enter, so let's also do stuff that's re-entering related. So we want a heat shield. We want a decoupler. Probably a big one. What's the difference between these two states? Stack decoupler. I don't know. Is designed for splitting the largest of rockets in two. Unlike decouplers, separators. Oh, this is a separator. Separators will eject anything connected to themselves. This is good as it removes the need to worry about which side needs to be pointing away from the face. Ah, interesting. Huh. That doesn't quite answer my question of what's the difference between this and this. Welcome, JJ Bonzig. So I don't know which of these two I want. I guess we'll go with that. I don't know. Okay. And we need batteries. So we have little guys and then these guys. Oh, I know what I can do. I actually do a service bay. Here. Open this up. We gotta throw these batteries inside of here, I bet. Yeah. Can we slide one more in there? I mean, it'll fit, but will it? Okay, it actually does figure it out. Awesome. So now we have the smaller guys inside of a service bay there. We're just going to be working on docking stuff. So this is the top of it. This is the docking port. And actually, I have a service bay attached to that, but I don't need that anymore. Let's get rid of that. So this can actually attach right onto there. We will need parachutes, and we're actually going to also want a robot. So let's get command pod. Because I want to test out, I want to make sure this thing launches okay. As is. I feel like it will. I guess I don't have to worry about that, I don't think. So let's add parachutes. 3. Make them stick. And we will put them... Nope, just 3. We'll attach them here. Make sure that works okay in the back. Yeah, okay. So that'll be for landing. We're going to have this on top for docking. I don't know where I'll put the little robot, if I were to put in a robot. I mean, maybe it could fit into here. Let's try. Really, if I'd take out some of those, and then maybe that'll work. Oh, actually, he's a little bit smaller than I thought. Okay, good. So we actually now have a robot in here as well. That's just hanging out inside of there. Let's add solar panels. We have a few different types now. I think we're gonna just... Oh, no, actually, I lied. We have these big solar panels. We're fine. I think I have everything I need. Let's go ahead and do a test launch with no people. Should we do that, or should we just go? Because we didn't really change much. We just... What do you think, Digibunzig? Should we go with no people? Is that a good idea? Probably. Let's launch it. Let's go with no people. Just in case there's something stupid. We do have a decoupler and a heat shield and parachutes. They're all in the wrong stage, but we have it. So, bottom engines, then we want to separate those and launch that one, and then eventually we're going to come back and we're going to get rid of that stuff. No, wait. Then eventually, so we're going to get rid of those four, run this guy. Eventually we're going to get rid of that and then land with the 3 parachutes. Okay. SAS on. Why can't I scroll? Oh, I guess I can't scroll up here. SAS on, throttle up, and go. So it seems to be handling pretty well. I think this is the one where it was a little bit tricky to try to maneuver it as we got higher up. Once we get up to, and I think we're going faster than we need to right now. There we go. Okay, let's bank. Yeah, well, as I start banking, it actually gets a little bit trickier to maneuver for some reason. I have wings. I'm not sure why it's weird, but anyway, so this seems pretty safe. I'm also going to assume that I'll be able to re-enter. Okay, I have the heat shield. I think everything is good. I think we're just going to go with this guy with people in it, so we have enough time to work on docking. So there's no science in this guy, but this is just about docking. So, all right. So I think we're good there. Let's warp to here. And we could test re-entry, I guess. Because, I mean, we might as well, I guess. Okay, yeah, we'll test re-entry. So we actually want to get rid of everything. So let's go with this stage at the bottom. Unexpected. Why, this thing won't detach. Well, isn't it a good thing we tested this? Huh. The separator isn't separating. Maybe it's because of where I attached it. No, I'm curious. Anyway, this thing will just die. There's no people on this thing, right? That's why we tested it. Okay, that's great. Let's go to the, let's go here. So is it that part, or is it where how I attached it? So how I attached it is a little bit. So what I did, oh, it's actually, sorry, this guy. So I attached it, so there's this and this. There's two different spots for some reason. So I attached it here, and it seemed like it didn't function at all. So let's... We're not going to go all the way up, but we're going to attach it slightly differently. No people inside of it. Awesome. Let's go to launch. We're not going to worry about getting all the way up. What I want to see is, can I actually detach the command pod from that or not? So these are all wrong. But it's not a big deal, because really we just want that to be next. So throttle up, SAS on. Go. So we're just going to go up a little ways. And then I'm going to I'm just going to cut engines and see if I can actually get this thing separate from it, or if it's actually like stuck on it. So we want to land that on the actual launch pad. So let's aim for the water a little bit. Okay, and that's good enough. So we're gonna cut engines. Let's move this to coupler. Down to the bottom. Yeah, so this thing does not detach. How weird. Okay, well. Okay. So I will try the other part instead. Yeah, it's not much. I mean, it's a separator, I think is what it's called, but it doesn't separate. So I don't really know what the deal is with that. Overheating. Oh, look, I have a mod that tells me when things overheat. Does it just separate as in add space? No. I think that the wording, but that's interesting point. But I think that it was saying, where did I find it? So their separator, this thing is saying, one thing that's nice about it is that it will eject anything connected to themselves. Oh, maybe I need two of them. Let's try that. Ready? Maybe we need two separators attached together for them to separate. We'll try that. No people. Go to launch. We'll fix our staging. Do the same thing. But yeah, maybe you have to have two of them together to have them actually separate. Otherwise, they stick together. Okay, so let's just throttle up, SAS on, and go. Yeah. Right. So let's adjust our staging. So now we need to have these two together in a stage. Set for the water. Luckily, we have no budget. Otherwise, if we did, we'd go with a much smaller test. Okay, perfect. Kill the engines. And separate. No, it didn't separate. So that also didn't work. Huh. And unfortunately, the parachute's deployed, so it's going to be a little slower. Is there a different key to make them go? Perhaps, but I mean, they're in staging, and I'm hitting... I mean, maybe. I'll just use a decoupler. I was just going to try out a new part. I don't know. Oh, what did I hit? Did I hit a button? No, I hit it wrong. Oh well. Technically, I didn't fail that mission because I hit the wrong button, I guess. Okay. So those are dumb, and I'm sure I'm using them wrong. So instead, maybe you have to be in separator mode, right? Maybe that could be. Instead, considering I'm fine with, where are they? These guys. Considering these work fine. So again, you can attach them in different spots, which I don't really understand, but it's okay. So now, no people. Let's try this again. Go. I just want to make sure this separates properly, and then we can stop wasting our time. SAS on, throttle up, and not detach, not go. And go. So that's the decoupler up top. So next stage we actually want to do is going to be just separate. And SAS isn't on. And bank. RCS is on. I see. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I saw little thrusters appear running. Alright, we want to do this. I mean, it doesn't matter. And decouple. So that worked. I forgot to kill the engines. We are detached. Can we rotate our... Yeah, we can't really rotate ourselves. But anyway, this worked. It did separate. So we've lost controls for everything else. So they... so we actually are separate here. Once we get up to space, I think we might be able to see it better. What's this? No crew control, right? Yeah, there we go. See, we're separate. Are we gonna run into each other? Yeah, out of fuel, right. Okay, so anyway, that worked. Good. We can't. Let's, oh, wow. Okay, so anyway, that's good. Let's go regular time. Space Center. That stuff will eventually land. It's fine. Alright, so separating works if you use a separator, or if you use a decoupler. If you use a separator, I don't know. So now I feel good about putting in a person. So let's actually, I want to go with some other crew. Let's go hire this pilot and this pilot. They will be our testers. So let's do docking. So we're going to have this new pilot. He's going to be in one of them. Docking who 4. Go to launch. Fix our staging. There we go. SAS on, throttle up. And go. No life support, so it'll be a short mission. I mean, within 15 days. So they might be a little hungry, a little hangry when he's up there, but should work okay. See, he's starving. 14 days. Start working on our banking. Seems more stable, actually. I slowed down a little bit, so maybe that's... No, there we go. There we go. Now we're not as stable. That'll give us some good practice of fixing the angle. Go the wrong way. Wrong way. our orbit. So we're not, I'm taking a pretty steep. We're trying to get our orbit. All right, so we're doing good. And I'll go ahead and kill that. Add a maneuver. Okay. Oops. A little bit more. A little less. Okay. Point towards the maneuver. Eventually. We could turn on RCS to get there a little faster, I think. So we're trying to get this guy in orbit, get the next guy in orbit, fix the angles, do all that stuff that we've learned the last 3 days. Okay, turn off RCS. Warp to the maneuver node. And then we're trying to get to 12 seconds. So I'm kind of speeding through this part, just because I want to have enough time to do all the hard stuff. Well, looks like we'll probably have to switch engines. But it should work okay. Once this far one is at least 100, that would be good. Okay. Perfect. You are now in orbit. Thank you, Space Center. Crew. Nope, too many crew. Ludwell, rather. You are going to dock. Change staging. Fix the staging. Those guys. Not this. Oop, I want to do that. And this. And do that. And we're perfect, right? Yeah. SAS on. Throttle up. And go! He's on. Where is he? I have to look at him this way. Alright, we're gonna do the same sort of, basically the same sort of thing. Once we start going, and once this gets high enough, I'm going to start slowing myself down so that this doesn't go too fast. Because otherwise it's sort of a waste of fuel in this beginning part, I think. If I recall back to our early days of Season 1. I'm trying to figure out how to get into orbit, but now we do that pretty easily. Okay, thank you. Just the other way. There we go. Yeah, he does the aesthetic. Yeah, just oh, I can't really block him, can I? It's out of view. Okay, so once this thing gets to around 100 or so. And I'm taking this one pretty steep, just as like an experiment. It'll probably be less efficient than what I just did, but it'll be a good test. So we're sort of building an orbit as we're going to see if that is any better or not. All right, so add a maneuver. Okay. Maneuver node. RCS. So we have less fuel, although this is only a 6-second burn, so we'll see. It's probably about the same, I guess. Okay. RCS off. So now we're trying to get to the burn. Okay, we're just gonna do it manually. Trying to get the 3 seconds. I'll probably have to switch engines before it's done, maybe? We'll see. Okay. Couple more seconds, and burn. Yep. So, roughly about the same efficiency. This one might have been slightly more efficient. I don't think I had to burn this engine quite as long, but... Okay, I didn't hit the right button. Okay. Alright, good. So now, I need to change my focus. I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to pop into... Go back to the Space Center. Actually, I want to go to the Tracking Center. Somehow I changed my focus to be focused on the planet, and that's annoying. So I'm going to go here instead. Start over. So we want to get to Docking Who 5. We're going to have this guy dock with Docking Who 4. So here's Docking Who 4. Set as target. Looks like we are... so we have a slight angle issue. So let's add a maneuver here. That's going to, so right now it's at 1.5. So that reduces it. Try to see if I can get 0. 0. Okay, perfect. Maneuver node. Burn is unknown. There's actually a mod to make that better, but didn't add that one yet. It's supposed to be able to make that thing not be NA, but I'm guessing it'll be a pretty short burn. So let's get over to the maneuver. So I missed the beginning of the stream. Did you do any further reading? No, I didn't. I'm assuming I can go into docking mode. Let's go. Let's try that. Actually, warp to next maneuver. Once we are done warping, I'm gonna see if I can get into docking mode to see if there's some other issue. I didn't try that. I didn't read about it. No. Okay, we are done warping. Can we get in docking mode? We can. Okay, so I think it needs to be a person. Is the answer. Let's get to 2 seconds or so, and then let's burn from there. Okay, burning. Okay. Let's take a look at our angle. We have... there we go. Yep. So, 0.0. Alright. Now, we want to pick a point. Here. we want to add a maneuver such that we will get an intersection point that is good. So let's move this guy around. See if we can get anything. What if we add... No, so if we add ones, it seems like it makes it worse. At least for this positioning. I think partly because we're on like the same orbit, basically. But at different spots. So if I do this, if I wait a lot of days, so that one is within 14 kilometers. I'm trying to remember. So it's waiting 4 days though, so we won't have a lot of extra time after that, but that should be enough time. Okay, so let's do that. That's in 4 days. We'll have to just go around the planet. There might be a different way to do it. No, that should be fine. Let's do that. So let's go to here. We want to point to the maneuver node, because that will still give us... I'm fast forwarding, so there we go. It'll still give us 10 days. It's getting busy. Yeah, I do have a lot of things. I could actually stop tracking some of this stuff. Like these ones, these docking ones, I think I might have enough fuel. I can make them intersect possibly and just crash, because they don't have any people anyway. This one does have Jeb still in it doing science. All right, so we have a lot of time to waste. I'd like to warp to next maneuver. Is it too far in the future for you to figure out? So this might take a while. Okay, maybe we'll go to plan B. That's a great maneuver, but let's do a different one. So let's make... Let's add a maneuver that will get us into a different orbit than our buddy. So 7-second burn that will give us a different pace. So point to the maneuver. And then we might be able to have a second maneuver after that. That will be better. I guess we could plan that still. So let's add another maneuver out here after that maneuver, which I haven't really done before. Let's give this one an extra little bit of time. So that, lots of information on the screen. That is 70 apart. Okay. What if I adjust this? So with, wow, that's a lot of information on my screen. I think that will give us 41 kilometers apart. 41.3. 41 point. So what I don't know is when I'm doing this, if that makes us not connect at all anymore. Yeah, I guess. 43.7. Well, I mean, the likelihood of me actually hitting this exact target isn't great anyway. So let's... This sounds good so far. So what we'll do is we'll do this maneuver. So it's in 1 minute. Can we warp to next maneuver? Which is only going to give us... Warp is 30 seconds anyway. What is... It's not warping at all. Oh, it's behind me. Oh. I took too long to think about it. Okay. So then let's get to here. Okay. All right. Let's cancel these maneuvers. Let's add a maneuver here. I'll just get that going first. So I want to mess up my orbit to be wonky. Let's go a little less, because it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I've changed it up a little bit so I can mess things around. Now, we will warp to the next maneuver node. Warp to here. Or warp to next maneuver. And then it's going to be at 3 seconds, we're going to do the burn. And I'll just do that second maneuver after the fact. So after we finish this maneuver, and it's actually, and then we'll mess around with it more. So we can speed up a little bit, just so we don't run out of time. Getting down to 3 seconds. And burn. Okay. And now that we have this, add a maneuver. So we want to try and find a spot where they will intersect. So both of those don't seem great. Let's add a loop. We don't add too many loops because otherwise we're gonna run into problems again with it taking forever. But right now they're on opposite sides, so it doesn't help. Okay, let's add one more. We didn't help our cause very much. Alright, well, let's go one less than that. And then from here, let's try to do some adjustments. So this maneuver is gonna get us really dangerously re-entering, but our plan is to adjust it once we get close to the dude. So we're not gonna re-enter. Is the plan. So let's get them to be closer. So that's 70. So that's 16 apart. Once we get close to the guy, we're going to have to quickly go retrograde and burn. Is that right? I think retrograde and then burn. We'll find out real quick. We're gonna look, and if it's the wrong one, we're gonna switch it. Okay, great. So we're gonna do that. It's a very dangerous maneuver right here, but we're gonna, I mean, not dangerous. We'll just get rid of everything and re-enter if it kind of fails. It's only 3 hours we have to burn, so it's not too bad. It's not many days. So then we're going to attempt to warp to the next maneuver. I mean, we actually want to burn at a bit before that. It's going to be, but we'll, as we get close to it. So after we're like 3 minutes from it, I will slow down time. Because I want to burn at, what's 30, or 1. Let me think. 30, oh yeah, no, going up to a minute would be fine. Because that would be, I want to do 35 and a half is when I'll start burning. So we're going to warp. It'll take a second because when we're close to the planet, we have to slow down. But so I'm going to do that maneuver, get near the guy, and then burn a whole bunch to try to fix my orbit. So I don't know. We'll see if this works. Or we'll just re-enter and then we'll bring up the next version. And then how's our fuel? So our fuel's pretty good, I think. I think for this. Although it's a minute and a half. It's gonna be a long burn. It is a lot. It is a long burn though. Maybe I shouldn't do that burn. Maybe there's a different spot I can do this. I think it's a bad burn. I think we're not gonna have enough fuel overall to really make this work. So let's change it. Let's not do as dramatic of a change. So like these are they're close together. There, maybe this is even better. Look at that, and it's gonna be only 2-second burn. I'm so good at this game. All right, 22 meters apart. Much shorter burn in 11 minutes. So we're gonna. In fact, it's only it's a 1-second burn. So we're going to warp to that maneuver. So that'll save us a bit of fuel. And we're not at risk if we don't fix it to plummet to the planet. Okay. So we're going to burn at... It's a very short burn. In fact, I'm not going to go full throttle on it. Oh, my goodness. Stop. We're still going to burn. Alright, so that's with my... So what I currently have, I'm still going to be at 24. So I screwed up a little bit, but we're okay. My angle's... Oh no, my angle's still good. Awesome. So now what we want to do is change this to target. Once we get within 50 kilometers of our target, we will... That's not what I want. Once we get to 50 kilometers within our target, we will burn retrograde and do that until our relative speeds are something close together, some number. So once we're within 50, which is, we already are there, I guess. Then I want to point retrograde, which I'm doing. And then I want to slow down. Until our relative speeds are 0, maybe? Or maybe it was like really low, like 10. And then, what do I want to do? My retrograde has really changed. Where's it going? So now we have similar orbits. Where's, Huh. It's weird that my retrograde has changed so much. Anyway. So our speeds relative to each other have changed. I think now what I want to do... Where's my guy? That's my target. Okay. It's been so long since I did the steps. Alright, so now I want to go into docking mode. Turn on RCS and hold. Which is actually increasing my speed relative to the guy. Which doesn't seem right. Maybe I want to go towards target. And then hold. Remember all these steps. Try not to waste too much. I'm using a little bit of fuel to do this. But I don't. Nope, that's the wrong button. Okay, so we're drifting towards the guy. All right, I think that's good. Our orbits still don't match up exactly. Now what do we want to do? We want to RCS and hold. Should I remember all these steps? Oh my goodness, I can't do it. I can't think. We're getting closer to the guy or no? We pop into this view. No, so he's getting slightly further away. So we could say we're drifting apart, and so I should adjust my orbit again. So let's turn off RCS. Let's pop into here. Let's do a maneuver that will get us closer together over here. Still not very close together. We're actually closer together now. So maybe I should just try to do something now to make this better. Okay. I've had a lot of practice. We can do this. All right. So I'm going to point towards the guy and then burn a little bit in the other mode. Try to close some of the distance. Because I think the other guy's going faster than I am. Because by increasing my speed, I'm decreasing our relative speed. So we want to get this to be switch back to be around 0, I think. Or at least do it till it starts going up. And then we're actually getting closer to each other slowly. Okay, now it's about to switch. So now we're going closer to it slowly. Let's kill our engines and look. So our orbits are not in line right now. So what we want to do is now, once we are closer together, which I don't know when that's going to really happen. Right now we're still getting further apart. Okay, kill our engines. So now we are going sort of towards the guy. And so as we're getting closer and closer, maybe when we're within 10, I'll do my hold to try to stay closer to the guy. Maybe. I want to make sure I don't run out of engines. I need to keep some of the engines just to be able to land if this doesn't really work out. But I do want to get closer to the guy and then burn retrograde, I think, to slow myself down. So that we stay around the same orbit but near each other. So I'm still trying to watch my fuel. I'm too close. Okay, right. Alright, so I'm going to kill my engines. We're getting closer to the guy. And then, as we get closer, I'm going to... I'm going to burn retrograde. So that's the point, I think, where we're going to be the closest to the person. So what I'm trying to do is fix my orbit. So that's where I'm the closest to the person, I think. Maybe. And then I'm going to try to slow down a little bit before that point. Oh, that sun scared me. Okay. I'm going to slow down now. Okay. So what does my orbit look like? So now we're pretty close together. We are still not intersecting exactly. But alright, so now we are close together. I want to point towards my target again. And then work on getting a little closer. I think. I think this is working. We're going to run out of time before we ever get there, I think. But we're doing pretty good. We have a bunch of fuel still. We have a bunch of RCS. We haven't used really any of it. So now we're going to point towards the target and then burn a little bit. To try to catch up to him, because I think he's actually ahead. And then, so here... Okay. Actually, let's... Until this number starts getting not better. So this coming up is where we're going to be really close together. So at that point, I will try to kill off my relative speed to each other. So 5, 4... So I'm going to keep on doing this. I mean, I'm going fast now, but this engine's really crazy. Like, this is only just a couple notches on. So I'm able to reverse this. Okay, so now now it's getting worse. So now we will do this. We will add a maneuver here. Not do anything with it. Point to retrograde. So this is just letting me know how far away that spot is. So this, I'm that far away from hitting the closest spot. So a little bit before that, not much before that, I'm going to burn to try to slow myself down so that we'll hang out about 4 kilometers away from each other. Is my idea, my plan. We'll see if it works. So we're going to burn, or we're going to speed up time until we're closer to that. Let's get to about 20. Or now. We'll do now. Okay. So now, our orbits are real close. That's great. And we're close to the guy. So now, I want to go, I think, into docking mode. So we're going to point towards the guy. And then I'm going to try to move closer with RCS. So RCS on. And then I want to go towards him. I'm surprised this number isn't changing at all. But I don't know. I can't go into the other mode, so I don't know if this is actually getting me closer or not. There we go. Now it's actually increasing. Okay. So that number's slowly increasing. That number over there is seeming to be the same, but maybe we're slowly moving. We could also burn a tiny bit with our engines to try and get a little bit of an extra initial oomph. Okay, no, it is decreasing. So if we can get this number to be below 10, because that's, I remember that, then we might be able to approach slowly towards the guy and try to get that to work. So maybe we'll keep this at 6. And now we can pop into this view, not hit shift because it's going to be bad. So this will be at 3. 3 something. I guess we're already at basically 3 something. So I could use my engines. So 3.6, and that's where we would potentially separate some. So maybe I'll use my engines a little bit. Not a lot, but... That's going the wrong way now. So now we're drifting towards the guy some more. And this is where we'll be at 1.9. So we want to do retrograde again. So we're sort of like heading towards the guy a little bit and then trying to slow down so that we're trying to, like, you know. And we have a lot of fuel, so this isn't, you know, we're not stranding ourselves yet. We still have quite a bit of fuel to get back. So once we get to like 20 or so, I will go ahead and slow down time. Or maybe sooner. Or not slow, yeah. So I'm gonna burn. So with that burn, I'm still real close. If I turn on my engine a little bit, does that make it better or worse? Seems about the same. Okay. So now we're within that much. We want to kill our relative speed, so let's point retrograde. Which I thought we were. Apparently we weren't. What were we pointing at? Prograde? So if we burn now, does that help us? So this number is slowing down. Okay, so now we are back to slowly approaching. Let's go to the docking mode, RCS, and we want to point towards our target. And we want to throttle up. So this is working well. Let's pop into this view, not hit any other buttons. Let's get rid of this. So this one we're at 1.1 apparently. Which we're at right now. So we're going to use RCS now to try to get us to be a little bit closer. Once we're real close to the dude, then we'll pop over. We'll have that one target us. Once we're kind of stable, and then we'll see if we're able to use that to help us dock. So we're getting closer and closer and closer. Yes. Suspense is amazing. hop into this view, not hit any other buttons. So that has us a 0.5 coming up. So we're already on a path to be closer and closer and closer to the dude. Without even, if I don't change anything else. So 0.5 still. .6. So it actually likes it less when I do that. That's interesting. Okay, so now, once we get kind of more in line with it, I think we might want to consider going retrograde again and then slowing down our relative speed, because I think we're still further away, and so we're going faster than it. So we might want to maybe now turn off RCS, point retrograde, and then hold. And then that might slow me down relative to the dude. And maybe we'll get closer to our orbit with each other. So I'm going to do a hold. It didn't work. I want to do RCS, hold. So it is decreasing our relative speed. Then we're still going down. Oh, I can do RCS hold from here, though. That's good. Okay, so we are increasing our distance from each other. So I might consider cheating a little bit and going like this. Okay, kill it. So now we are pretty stable. I'm going to go back into this, and I'm going to point towards the guy, or turn off RCS, point towards the guy, because I didn't want the extra firing stuff to change up my orbit. So now we're going back to each other. Okay. So around, going all the way around, we're at 4.1. Okay, so I'm going to ignore that thing entirely now. Okay, now I want to go forward towards the guy. RCS on, and go towards the guy. So we're going to stick with going fairly slow for this part. Turn off RCS. I'm going to switch targets. I want to switch to, I guess I can only do that in this view. Switch targets to 4. You. I want you to target that guy. Point towards target. Also, can you please open up your docking port? Control from here. Wasn't there an open docking port? Or was that just the other docking port had a... Okay, I guess this one doesn't have an open. Okay. Map view. Switch back to 5. I want you to... That's on. RCS on. Get closer to the guy. So what I don't know is, will that guy keep his pointing towards me, or does he lose those controls once I switch over? I guess we'll find out as we get closer. And I'm also not pointing towards target. So I don't want this to go too high, so we're gonna just kind of keep it around 3. We're going a little bit over, but we're nearly to failure or success. If they both start going into the atmosphere at the same time, that could be a problem, because it would be hard to... I don't know how I control both. I guess I wouldn't. As long as only one of them tries to go into the atmosphere at one time. Alright, we are... The guy's passing us. So the other thing I can do, I can switch over to that guy and then change the controls. I think I do want to slow down. Drop our relative speed down a little bit. Okay. So I want you to kind of stay with what you're doing. Then I might switch gears to the other one, because now it's ahead. Turn off RCS. Pop in here. I would like to target the second one. No, not gonna work. Okay, let's pop back into the view. Okay, we're still doing okay. I would like to quickly go to the other one. Number 4. Quickly, actually, it would have been Escape Tracking Center. I think there's also a mod to make that faster. Switching between ships, but I didn't grab it. Okay. Alright. You point towards target. And I want you to be in docking mode and RCS on. And I want you to... Yeah, so that'll actually fix our relative speed. With what I'm changing right now. Let's get this open. Okay, so this is about to switch, it looks like. I was thinking about it, maybe. We're getting closer now. Do I want to switch? I'll switch. Okay, you point towards target. And RCS on. And then... What, speed up? I don't know. Once we get really, really close to it, I think I want to go retrograde and slow down. This part's still hard. I mean, I was able to bump those two ships together that one time, so... But it seems like now I'm going to be going... I want to... If I do hold, what does it do? Like, I feel like it now I'm going faster than it because I shot it the other way. I'm not pointing towards anything right now. I don't really know why that is. Okay, so we're really, really close to it. But it's passing by us. This number's about to start going up. Yeah, okay. Come back. Let's go retrograde. Try to get us back down to 0. Relative speed. Okay. Our relative speed is... So we're, like, basically right by each other. Everything's great. Now, I want to get closer to you. So I think I want to point towards the target. And then I want to throttle up a tiny bit. Just like that. So we're just going to go 0.6 towards the guy. Based on these little indicators, that might mean that our stuff is actually lined up. Like maybe the other ship is actually still keeping its orientation change. I doubt it. But so this guy's, we're potentially lining up with each other. I can't really tell from here. Exactly. So I could switch targets. And then see if I can get the other guy to make sure he's pointing towards it. I'm trying to get 4. Make it 4. I'm zoomed in about as far as I can. Yes. Switch to. Point towards the target. Turn off RCS. So if I do hold, I think that will slow me down. Let's attempt it. All right, let's turn on RCS. Hold. No, that's okay. That speeds me up. So if I do this one, I want to do this to slow myself down. Okay. So I will continue the same thing, and as we get very, very close, I will do control to slow down. We're already very, very close, but and again here, this seems like it's good stuff. So he's moving over a little bit that direction. So we might not quite be lined up that we need to be. So I could go retrograde, go back down to 0 as we get close to try to get us even more in line. Because I think he's going, like, he's heading towards me, but it's still on a slightly different orbit. Not by much, but enough where this isn't quite working, maybe. So if we get close, and if it starts going the other direction, I'm going to point retrograde. I can't even. Interesting. Okay. So we are going to... We're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. But yeah, so like that guy... Oh no, he's actually firing as well. So I think he is maintaining and pointing towards me. That's interesting. So when I sped up time, they don't fire those things, but then when I slowed down time, both of them were actually changing. So that's awesome. That makes me really happy. So I think that makes this thing way easier. I slowly will need to slow down as I get close enough to the guy, but I think that will really... I know, isn't it awesome, guy? You over here? You're over here. Hi. Okay. So that's amazing. So we just need to get inch closer and closer and closer. Both of these have RCS turned on and pointing towards each other, so I think that they're actually orienting themselves to be pointing towards each other. So we need to go probably slower, I guess. So let's just move in at 0.1. And in theory, they'll just connect up. Okay, wrong way. Stop going away. Okay, we've crossed the boundary where now they're... Okay, good. We're going back together. As long as that number keeps on going down, I'm happy. It's only taken a week of streams. But we might dock something, guys. Or we'll bump each other, and none of this worked anyway. Because these aren't deployed, and I can't see anything that says deploy. So there's control from here. There's no deploy, so I don't know. I don't know. Okay, all right, we're fine. So we're still getting towards each other, very slowly. We have lots of monopropellant. This is very dramatic. The Buka. Welcome to Buka. Is that number still going down? Or is it the same? Let's go up. Let's start it up a tiny bit. Okay, it's going down again. I don't want them to bump each other. I don't know at what speed these docking clamps will actually clamp. I haven't gotten this far. As long as the number keeps on going down. It is going down, right? Okay, good. It's going down. I guess we'll speed up a tiny bit. Dun, dun, dun. It's so handy that the guy's actually pointing towards me. Oh my goodness. That tutorial was lame. Did that go up? I think that went up. There we go. Now we're going down again. We're going down fast. Seems faster. We're getting there. So once these things attach, then we can move crew from one to the other and then back over there, and then we'll move them separate, and then we'll probably have to land tomorrow. Or whatever day. There's also probably a stream on Sunday, I think, for Untold Stories 4. I don't think it's on my schedule, but I believe we're playing. Is this slowness overkill? Maybe, but we're only 29.9 meters apart, and I've already done this all week. Playing tomorrow, Sunday. Playing on Sunday. If I said tomorrow, I meant Sunday. Yeah. Sunday at 10:30. Probably. Yep. Usual time. I think it's going back up now, so we're gonna go. Oh yeah, and our speed, like we're sort of going around each other a tiny bit, so yeah. Come on, docking clamps, just automatically clamp, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Dun, dun, dun. So dramatic. Too bad we're on the dark side of the planet. Otherwise, we could see what's going on. Yes, everything is slow in space. I feel like 0.2 is probably a safe speed for these clamps to clamp. But I could try to throttle down as they get like within 5. Oh my goodness, we're so close. Will this week end with a success? Tune in next week to find out. We could do it. 7.5. In theory, they're just supposed to clamp at the end. That's what the tutorial said. I never got this far yet. In theory, once they get close enough, they'll just attach. I was gonna slow down to 0.1, but I did it on its own. Oh, we're actually a lot closer. I didn't have the clamps themselves attached. Oh, is it? Goal! Transfer crew. And actually, we don't even have to we could land with one of these guys because there's actually, this thing holds 3 people. So we don't need this anymore. We're docked. So we have lots of parachutes and lots of things going on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So if we wanted to detach, that part I don't know. D-dock. Okay. Yeah, undock. Yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. So now we have the tools. We have the knowledge. We have the experience. We can connect ships together in space. Not easily, not fast, but we can do it. Yes. So now we can do all kinds of stuff. We can make big space stations. So if we send out rockets with a bunch of things, RCS tanks, some boosters, things like that, we can attach them together in space, and we can do all kinds of stuff. So they're on this side, right? Transfer crew. 2 guys on this side. Awesome. Let's look at our orbit. Yeah, so our orbit is still stable. So we're going to actually land them next time because I'm over again. But we can detach this other part. Let's try that. Let's experiment with detaching. Let's see if I have to close this thing first and see if, like, everybody will die. Detach. Undock. So I've de-docked, undocked. Transfer crew. I still have 2 crew inside of here. That thing no longer has any crew. I don't care about it anymore. This guy needs to land. We didn't lose anybody yet. In theory, this thing will be able to land just fine. I have lots of fuel. There's a bunch of parachutes. I'm assuming this separator will actually work properly. Amazing. And they're starving, but they still have 14 days for some reason. I think possibly when I docked and undocked, it reset the ship, so it's actually resets the starving, maybe. That part I'm not sure, because I feel like I might have already exceeded that, but maybe not. I guess we didn't spend a lot of time. It just felt like a lot of time. But yeah, there we go. We docked. We transferred a crew from one thing to the other. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so